Good evening. Welcome to the Danvers Conservation Commission meeting for January the 9th, 2025. Happy New Year to everybody. We operate as a commission under the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and Chapter 26 of the Town of Danvers General Bylaws, the Wetlands Protection Bylaw. After each applicant presents his or her request and the board has had time to ask questions and discuss the project, we will accept questions from the audience. Because this is a public meeting, it is required by law that you give your name and your address before you speak. Although we may disagree on the issues raised, all persons present during this meeting are expected to be civil to all the meeting attendees. This includes members of the commission, staff, butters, concerned citizens, property owners, and project applicants. We also request that you confine your questions to the project and only as it pertains to the Wetlands Protection Act. We cannot handle nor do we have jurisdiction over matters such as noise or traffic. All problems not related to the Wetlands Protection Act and the Town of Danvers Wetlands Protection Bylaw must be taken up with their other appropriate boards. Our first order of business is a roll call. Peter Wilson is present. Lorraine Draper.
Present.
Jonathan Garvis has resigned from the board. So,
Yeah, and he couldn't make it tonight.
Mary Haight
Present.
and Michael Splain. All right, the first item on our agenda is a request for a certificate of compliance for 99 Andover Street, DEP file number 14-1200.
Your mic's just went out.
The applicant is Darrell M. Burnham, Group 1 Automotive, Inc. And is someone's online too?
Yes, yep. Neil, can you hear us? Should I be unmuted here?
Maybe that might be it.
All right, one sec.
Okay.
That microphone icon for you.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, Neil, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can now, yes.
Can we hear Neil now?
Oh, all right, Neil, we can't hear you. One sec.
You can't hear me.
It's coming out through here and shit.
All right, can you hear me now?
Good way to start the year.
All right, one sec, everyone.
I went to drive by this 13 Liberty Street.
Neil, you can hear us?
You can hear us?
I can, yes.
Okay, we still can't hear you. I'm sorry, we're playing around with the IT here.
I just thought it was Liberty Street.
If we need to, I can give you my phone number and you can give me a call. And then, I think we had to do that before we had some audio issues, and then just put him on speakerphone.
As long as we can hear.
Yep, he can hear me. It's just, we can't hear him for some reason. So let's see.
Can't hear.
Yeah, he can hear us, but we're not getting any audio from him.
Maybe on the phone.
Yeah. Well, so I'm thinking.
Okay, I just gave him my phone number.
Oh.
And continues on.
You yourself.
You used to be able to go.
Isn't that Water Street?
Check.
I'm thinking
No, you know where Port Diner is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you turn left. Isn't that?
Neil, can you hear us? Check.
Yeah, if you're going down Main Street. Yeah, Maple
You're
Street.
on
Okay,
High
cool.
Street.
Can you speak? Just so we can hear you.
Now, if you get to the end of Liberty and you cross over.
Neil, can you try to say something?
There's another little area. I bet you
Can you hear me?
Nothing.
I didn't know it there, but those
Nothing?
numbers were-
Okay, yeah, just give me a call.
Well,
It never got down to the T.
All right.
yeah.
That's right. I'll ask when we get to
All right. Well, anyway, that could continue.
Yeah.
because of the butterheads and
Yeah, I saw the letter.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'm calling you right now,
See
Neil.
the pictures?
yeah, that's why I wanted to go by to see
Yeah.
which house he was taking pictures of. If it's
Well,
3 to
I'm
5 feet.
assuming that's the,
Probably the house they're working on, you would think.
yeah, and that's the 3 feet probably, she said, to the driveway. That's how close the property is.
Neil, your phone went right to voicemail.
Oh, I know, she's just concerned. She has she has
Right
an
again.
Airbnb. I had.
Right,
Yeah, so what does that mean? She either rents out a portion or?
yeah. You can rent it out for a weekend, a week, 2 weeks. They
There's no
make good money.
permit for
Hello.
that?
Huh?
There's
Hi
no
there, Neil. All
permit?
right, I'm going to put you on speakerphone.
I think Airbnb does
Yes,
everything.
I just turned down my speakers.
You
So
can
I
Okay.
can hear you on
Yeah.
No
speakerphone.
local permit.
All right.
Depends on the town.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
I think that,
have Neil on speakerphone.
Mhm.
Taking my phone up here for you guys.
All right,
Gentleman that's on the screen up there.
okay.
okay.
All right, let's see if this works. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Hi,
Hi.
Identify yourself.
good to go?
Hi. Could
Can you hear us on there?
Neil, can you hear the commission?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right, Neil, could you just give us a quick overview of what the project entailed? I mean, I kind of remember we talked about this several years ago.
Sure, yes. Well, we're actually looking for certificates of compliance for 2 related projects. The first one being 1320, which is a walking trail. Basically, we added some stone pavers and some benches and a little pedestal to the park area. If you look at the bottom center of your screen there, that shows, essentially there was an employee who liked to exercise over lunch, walk around the campus, and she passed away. They wanted to do something nice for her, and I don't know, can I draw on this picture?
What was that, Neil?
Anyway, so they put up a walking trail. It was in the buffer of Crane Brook. So we came before the board in February of 2019, got that approved and constructed. Later that year,
Excuse me
We
one
came-
second, Neil. Whereabouts
Sure.
on this drawing that we're looking at is that trail? Is that the dashed line to the right of the black parking spots?
that is part of it. That was actually a purple stripe. If you follow the dash line to the bottom of the page,
Yeah?
no, I'm sorry, farther west, yeah, that dash line there.
That's it.
Yes.
Where?
If you
You
follow
see
that to
where
the bottom
arrow
of the
is?
page, you'll see where it intersects the curb.
We're on the left of the screen?
Down here, Neil?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To, yeah, west of that little wetland area, there's a path.
Yes.
Okay.
West. Okay, yeah, you're almost over it. Two parallel lines and a little
Yep.
semicircle.
Right here.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's essentially just a little rest area for people to sit on nice days. And that was constructed according to plan. I don't believe they made any changes during construction to that. There was a purple line painted on existing paved areas to delineate where the walking trail around the campus would go. Later that year, we came back looking to remove and replace and relocate the existing Subaru dealership. So what you're looking at here is the brand new Subaru dealership, which opened a couple of years ago. That is significantly in the wetland buffer. It did not increase any impervious cover anywhere on site. It adjusted some of the setbacks, but by and large, we were within the footprint of what was already developed. There were not any changes to stormwater management on site at that time. There were no significant erosion controls beyond a silt fence or silt sacks. We did remove 2 untreated discharges on the south end of the site, if you look at the next sheet. Yes. The red parking lot is where the old Subaru building was, and they had a couple of pipes that were discharging directly into Crane Brook. That area was totally regraded to make sure everything comes back into the site and into the wet pond at the front of the site.
The wet pond that's on the right parallel to 114.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now, have you just described both aspects of this that we're approving tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's two separate applications. The second one, which is tearing down the old road trip and building the new one, it was application 1325,
1325.
or permit number 1325.
Okay, so the first one was essentially for your walking path and where it...
Correct.
Okay. Okay, and staff has been out to visit and everything looks good?
Everything looks great, no concerns.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Mike, any questions?
Yeah, a couple. With regard to the walking path, what is that composed of? Is that pea stone or gravel or
It's pavers.
it's
So
pavers?
it's effectively impervious.
They are pervious pavers?
Yes.
With just the seams.
Yeah. And is that for the public or is that for employees? Or both?
Both.
Both?
I'm not sure what member of the public would walk around an auto campus.
Well, unless they're waiting for their car to get fixed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They might want it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is available.
yeah. And just for
Especially
staff,
Subaru, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, what were you gonna say?
The Subaru really leans into their brand as outdoorsy. They like to put dog parks in all their new facilities.
Right.
So I'm sure they would allow anybody to use that walking trail that wanted to.
And then, was just for staff with the vote, why do we have that condition 38 there?
Because the bottom of it says that this condition will not expire with the issuance of the COC. So it's included so that it will be noted that it
So
will be
that-
part of the certificate of compliance. And the applicant is aware.
Stressing that continues.
Yes, yep, and just so that you guys would have that language too, so you would know what it was.
And it-
All right, thank
And
you.
it goes into the permanent,
Yeah.
Yep.
right. Okay, all set, Mike?
Yes, thank you.
Lorraine, any questions?
No, no questions.
Mary,
I'm
all
good.
set? No, this is not a public hearing, right? So, all right, let's, someone make a motion, we'll grant a certificate of compliance.
For both or just for me?
We'll just do one at a time.
Okay. I'll make a motion for the certificate of compliance to be granted for DEP file number 14-132099 Andover Street.
And just a quick mention that this one condition is
Oh,
in
yes,
perpetuity.
There's one condition that's in perpetuity within 30 days of, do I just read the last sentence, or, because that's the,
We'll just say as noted.
oh,
as
as noted, as written.
Okay, is there a motion's been made? Is
I
there a second?
Second the motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, there's one. Next up is a request for certificate of compliance for 99 Andover Street, DEP file number 14-1325. The applicant is Darrell M. Burnham of Group 1 Automotive. And I think he has described already what this project entailed. And staff has been out to visit and everything looks good.
Yep, looks great.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Just for staff, was the work done in accordance with the order of conditions? Was there slight changes or?
There were the slight changes noted below, but nothing that was of any concern, and engineering already closed out all of their permits with the site too. Nothing of any concern.
No questions.
Lorraine, any questions?
No questions.
Mary?
I'm good.
All set? All right, who wants to make a motion?
And I'll make a motion that we issue a certificate of compliance for DEP file number 14-1325, applicant Darrell M. Burnham, Group 1 Automotive, Inc.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next up is a notice of intent for 13 South Liberty Street.
No, that's continued.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, Neil.
A good workaround, Emily.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We might be doing it again with the next one.
When, the next one, I'm just going to read this, but this is not opening a hearing, is that correct?
Right.
So we don't have to vote to
Correct, we're not
continue.
opening the hearing for 13 South Liberty. Just
Okay, so,
they requested to continue.
To summarize, 13 South Liberty Street has requested that we continue to our next meeting on January 23rd. Now, I just have one quick question.
Yes.
Is South Liberty Street different than Liberty Street?
Yes, it branches off. This is, it's O'Brien Farm. It's that area. It's that property. So it like branches off a little bit as you're going up that hill. It's a slight right.
Okay, because I went to look at it today. So
Oh.
I I didn't
So
find
as
it.
we turn left on the Port Diner, and we're
Yep.
heading down Liberty.
Mhm.
So tell me where we go from there.
It's as you start to go up the hill, you go over the bridge, and New England Home for the Deaf is going to be on your left. It's before you get to that, it veers off to the right at that light. It's right up in that area.
Oh, so
That's
this is
south.
totally different.
Oh,
This is,
okay. I think I know.
Yeah, I do too. All right, so it's nowhere near the Liberty Street we were thinking of.
So it's right on the water.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but that's continued anyway, so we don't need to vote to continue. Next up is a notice of intent for
Hold on, do we
30.
just, I'm sorry, do you just need to do a motion to continue?
So we don't need
You
a
don't,
motion.
okay, sorry.
Next up is a notice of intent for 30 Sherwood Ave, DEP file number 14-1429. The applicant is Alex Shook.
And
Alex on with us? Or?
we have Nicole on here, and Nicole, can you please try to say something to test out?
Yeah, hi, good evening, commission members.
Nope.
My name is Nicole
Okay, I'm going to give you a call.
Ferrara. Okay, it's fine.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I don't know what's going on with the audio, but we're making it work.
Look at all that green.
Oh, green screen.
The stream can hear that. Let's see.
It's
know why
not.
you guys
It's not a
can't.
setting on my computer, right?
No, I mean, probably not. I don't know why you guys aren't able to hear.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you,
Okay,
Nicole.
all right.
1 second. I'm just going to put you on speakerphone, okay?
Okay, great.
I'm away. But because we have so few people, I'll try to find it. So people
Nicole on the phone.
but I'll bring it up.
Great. Hi, good evening, commission members. My name is Nicole Ferrara from LEC.
Oh, wait, hold on. We're getting a lot of feedback. 1 sec.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We have an echo problem. Feedback.
Might be gone. Okay. Oh, no, there it is.
Can you hear me better now?
It's just coming back twice because she's listening.
No.
I didn't do it with the other person.
Because I think he shut off his microphone.
Oh, Nicole, can you mute your computer?
Yes, that's probably it.
Yep, I'm muted.
Ah, we need to mute ours.
There's some chatter from somewhere else. Because she didn't echo that time.
All right, 1 sec.
No, can hear you.
So we didn't do a motion to continue on.
Because we never opened.
So is there a mic that she still has on over there? Because you can hear
There's got to
her.
be something here. 'Cause it's picking up all of them.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, because once you open it, they continue.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole, I'm going to pull the plan up here, and we're just trying to figure out the feedback issue.
Can you hear me a little better now?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Great. All right, just let me know when I can begin.
Are we all set?
Yeah?
Do your best. I'll mess with it out.
Okay.
Great. Hi, everyone. Again, Nicole Ferrara from LEC Environmental. I'm representing the owner, Alex Shuck, who is also online. So we submitted an NOI application to pave a gravel driveway, reconstruct a patio, and establish a lawn associated with a single-family dwelling. It's my understanding that Emily and some other staff have visited the site in December to discuss the project with the owner. But for those of you who have not seen the site, it's located in the east central portion of town, just southwest of the Beverly Airport, and it's within a residential neighborhood. You can see we have a single-family dwelling on the property, and Frostfish Brook is located off-site to the west. We have a gravel driveway that extends to a single-family dwelling and a car garage. We also have a front porch and a brick and stone patio occurs off the rear of the house. Some gravel patches occur along the sides of the house. You can see this driveway extension, and then there's also a gravel patch behind the patio in the back. So the house and associated appurtenances are actually surrounded by overgrown shrub vegetation and various household and landscape debris. If you wouldn't mind going to slide 2, please. I just included some photos to show what the site looks like. We have that gravel driveway, as I mentioned, and the gravel driveway extension right along it. Moving to the next slide is some photos of the overgrown vegetation in the backyard. You can see there's no lawn at all within the yard. The photo on the right shows the existing patio and landscape debris surrounded by the vegetation.
What is in those drums?
I'm sorry?
It looks like there's 4 55-gallon drums there. What was in those, or what is in those now?
They were empty when I visited the site. They were left over from the previous owner who had this house. There was just water in it. I'm not sure what they were used for.
Okay.
They looked like landscape, like leaf cuttings and stuff like that.
Okay. Just keep going as best you can then.
Great. I can go to the next slide, please. So LEC was out in early November to evaluate the site and delineate the bank associated with the brook. The stream's contained within this block and boulder retaining wall, and it places the entire property within the front area. Go to the next slide, please. Here's the existing and proposed site plan. We have the existing house, the existing patio off the rear. You can see there's that gravel patch where those drums were on the back in the last photo. We have the driveway, that's gravel in the front. And then we have that gravel extension, the driveway extension, just to the south. The owners are looking to sell their house hopefully in February, but before they do, they want to clean up the yard and do some minor interior renovations. So they are hoping to pave the existing driveway within the same footprint. So they're going to just remove the gravel and then pave it over with asphalt. They want to install a patio in the backyard. If you zoom in, it's a little bit easier to see. But the current patio is 453 square feet, and they are proposing to replace it with a 144 square foot paver patio. So it'll be smaller than the one that's there, and it'll be within the existing footprint of that developed area. So the driveway and the patio won't result in any increase in impervious surface within the buffer zone. Nor will any of the work be located closer to the brook than the existing conditions. We're also proposing to remove some of the gravel as part of that driveway extension that I had mentioned earlier. That gravel is just going to be removed and replaced with lawn. So moving on to the lawn, they're proposing to install it around the front and the back of the house. As I mentioned earlier, there's no lawn that currently exists, and there's no proper yard to walk around the house. And the yard does contain a lot of overgrown vegetation that just wasn't maintained throughout the decades, and it mainly includes sumacs, some invasive buckthorn, and other opportunistic shrubs. So we're proposing to extend it from the house to roughly 20 to 35 feet away from the side of the yard, and then the lawn will extend about 40 to 48 feet from the back and the front of the house. And you can see that proposed lawn edge in purple. Yep. And that lawn edge, the area will be raked and layer of fresh loam and seed will be immediately applied once all the vegetation is removed. And the vegetation will be removed using hand tools and a mini bobcat to get any of the bigger shrubs out. You can see there are only two existing trees there. Those will be maintained. We're going to keep the trees where they are, and you can see we're going to put tree protection around them. So the lawn will not be any closer to the brook than 60.1 feet. And the applicant is going to implement a native landscape plan, which includes some native sapling trees and shrubs along the edge of the lawn, which are really intended to mitigate for the proposed lawn and improve the aesthetic of the backyard, as I'll discuss in a moment. So in terms of mitigation, like I mentioned, we're going to have that tree protection around those two existing trees. We're also going to install a staked compost filter tube along the limit of work area to prevent any erosion or sedimentation from, going into the river. Although the site is generally flat. Then all stockpiling, if needed, will occur within the driveway. We're also proposing some stormwater management. So currently there's no stormwater management on site for any of the impervious areas. And in an effort to mitigate for the paving of the gravel driveway, we're proposing to infiltrate that runoff by installing a stone apron along the southern side of the driveway. And the stone apron will be constructed, it'll be 2 feet wide and 3 feet deep. And the driveway will be pitched slightly so that the water flows towards that apron. And the apron will contain washed stone just to allow the water to infiltrate. And then going on to the native landscaping plan, if you wouldn't mind scrolling down to the next slide. Maybe actually one more slide. Perfect. So we're going to implement a native landscape plan, which it's going to be a mulched landscape bed with some native sapling trees and shrubs. And it's intended to enhance the riverfront area and improve the aesthetic of the backyard, but also to help demarcate the lawn edge for any future homeowners so they can't expand further. It'll kind of create just a natural barrier. So the mulched bed will be around 817 square feet, and it'll measure about 5 feet wide. It'll contain at least 5 sapling trees and 10 shrubs. And we included a list of species that are all native that the applicants can select from. And I think we expect at least 4 species from that list will be installed in the area in green. And then just to bring it back to the site plan, the overall degraded riverfront area will actually decrease by 458 square feet with that removal of the gravel, as I mentioned earlier, and the patio being smaller than the original. And all the proposed work is outside the 50-foot buffer zone. And that about covers it, so I'll turn it back over to the commission with any questions.
You said that the property was going to be sold in the near future? Is that right?
Correct.
So I'm just a little concerned of, whose responsibility would be to make sure all these plantings are done? Is it going to be the new owner or the current owner?
It'll be the current owner. They'll be responsible for installing everything.
And they hope to do that within the next month or two?
The plantings might take a little bit longer given, it's cold out.
Right.
Spring is more ideal, but they're hoping to start clearing this area out to put it on the market in a month. Maybe not sell it, but at least get it ready.
Right. I drove by today and it's just clearing the front yard's a big improvement. So it's overall it's going to be good. It's just that I'm a little nervous about approving something that promises and then it's going to change hands. Okay, that's all I have for right now. Other members of the board, Mike, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I had the same concern. I mean, if they're gonna sell it in February, and we're in January, I don't know how they're gonna get all that work done. And, if they're gonna sell it, I suppose the buyer's gonna wanna see who's gonna be looking for a certificate of compliance, the new owner or the current owner?
It depends if, oh, go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, you could answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the owner is gonna put the house on the market hopefully in February and continue with the, clearing if needed throughout the month. And in terms of the COC, we typically recommend the owner clear it out. Probably write it in the contract during the sale that, what you figure out what comes out of the certificate of compliance when you sell the house.
What was the last thing you said? I'm sorry.
I would assume that the details of who close out the certificate of compliance would be determined during the sale of the property.
All right, so
So we're here, by the way. I don't know if you can hear us because the audio is not great, but this is Alex and Kathy Schuck. We're the current owners of the property.
Hello, yeah, we hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, the audio is not great on our end. We can't hear you guys too well, but it sounds like you have some questions about when the work will be done, etc.
right.
So yeah, obviously with the winter, we can't really do too much. So we're, thinking probably March, April is when all this is going to happen.
Okay. All right, that sounds better. March, April.
March, April is when you think you'd have the plantings done?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
All right, the other question, did you want to?
No, go ahead, Mike.
The other question I had, so we may be looking for a bond if the property's being sold quickly and the work doesn't get done. The other question I had was, you represent that there'll be no increase in impervious surface, but aren't you hot topping the driveway?
Yes, we are, but we're removing the patio in the back and there's a ton of gravel along the side of the house that we will be removing and restoring as well.
Okay. Staff agrees that there'll be a negative net effect?
Yes.
All right. The other thing, and it's a question for staff too, but with regards to installing lawns where there were not previous lawns, is there any restriction on chemicals or use of?
We do have the stock condition about it.
I'm sorry, this is for staff. I think she's mimicking what you said, so.
That's Emily.
It's an echo.
That's Emily's.
Oh, that was you, Emily?
That's an echo.
Good. So we would put a restriction on herbicide use.
The commission wanted to do that.
I think there's some boilerplate in the order of
Yeah.
conditions too, as far as fertilizer.
Because the brook's right there.
Right. So, in that regards, take it a step further, and you did mention it, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. That, we're bringing in fill, erosion control is very important.
Yes.
Just so,
Erosion controls are on the plan.
Right. And one other question, is the property flat, level? I mean, is there a flow to the land?
It is a very flat land. There is a drop off right at the edge of the property, the western edge of the property drops to the brook, but before that, it's all flat.
All right. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Lorraine, no questions?
No.
Mary?
My only question is with the planting, if you're selling in February, March, April, I don't know how, like saplings and things like that. To me, the ground is still going to be cold and potentially, depending on our climate conditions, it may still be frozen. So I would just want to put in the condition that those plantings go in, even if, let's say we have a really cold April and they can't get those saplings and trees in or get the lawn properly put in, that's done maybe after the sale of the property, because I know some sales take 6 months, some sales take 2 months.
If I could interject, what would be an appropriate bond amount if that work didn't get done?
Property, theirs was, I believe, $2,000. I wouldn't suggest really going above that, given the size of the property and.
Yeah, more or less.
You're saying 2,000 would,
I wouldn't go above that.
all right, I wanted to get your input on that.
Yeah, my concern is that it's going to be cleared and they'll destroy all that vegetation and then somebody comes in and buys it and they haven't put in the newly seeded plants or the lawn.
Well, we'll have a bond to ensure that it gets
Right, that's
done
it.
now.
All right.
And the applicant is comfortable with posting a bond?
Hello?
Hi, Alex, are you okay if there's a bond, if the work is not done to pay?
It's a small
Yes,
bond,
for
2,000.
$2,000, is that what you're saying? It's hard to hear.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good, that's good. I mean, overall, I just applaud what you're doing, because that lawn is, the whole piece of property is falling into quite the disrepair, so, and I'm sure the neighbors like what you're doing as well. Okay, all the board members' questions have been answered? Is there any public comment or questions? Seeing none? Okay, are we comfortable issuing order of conditions? Okay, if someone can make a motion and make sure that the bond is part of that motion.
Nearest time.
I'm going to get nervous with the bond piece. Okay, you'll help me out with that.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I make a motion to issue an order of conditions for 30 Sherwood Ave, DEP number 14-1429, with additional conditions as discussed.
So no herbicides and a motion. Do we need a separate motion for the bond, or we just make it a condition?
You can do it, I can do it as a condition, I have everything.
Yeah.
Well, they mentioned it as part of this.
Yeah.
plan.
All right.
But just to further elaborate on the bond, when certificate of compliance is issued is when the bond will be repaid. So that way it protects us to make sure that the plantings as promised are done.
Okay.
Okay?
That's
Yeah.
the motion. I second her motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you. And good luck with your project.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
You too. I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Okay, next up is
Thank you.
old or new business. The first one is the minutes from our last meeting on December 12th. I'm presuming everyone has read the minutes. It's nice that we're now having minutes
Yeah,
from the previous
we have,
meeting instead of having
yeah.
to catch up. So if we are all on the same page as far as having read the minutes, if someone can make a motion that we approve the minutes, we can do that.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes for the Conservation Commission meeting of December 12th, 2024.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next up is a wetlands crossing violation, which Emily is going to give us an update on.
Yes, so this all started, or it was first reported to us, I believe, back in January of 2023. It's the stretch of the rail trail in between Nichols and Maple Street. It was reported to us that some residents had constructed some unpermitted wetlands crossings to get from their property onto the rail trail. Letters were sent out at that time. We weren't quite sure who had constructed them, so it was a letter that was sent out to all of the residents in the area saying, essentially, these are unpermitted, please remove them. If you know who built them, please help us out.
How many different crossings were there?
At that time, I believe it was one, but now there are at least two in that stretch.
And you had pictures.
think there's
Did
three.
you-
Or
have
three?
you-
Okay.
What do the crossings look
Oh,
like?
yeah.
Is
Here, I'll
somebody
pull 'em
throw a
up.
log over a brook?
That was one, but another one's like that.
Yeah, one sec, I'll pull them up for you here.
And that rail trail, that portion of the rail trail is not active yet either.
No,
It stops short of Maple Street on the other side of Maple Street.
right.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Mhm. This is one of them.
So are the crossings associated with certain property owners?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
This backs into Fox Run Road or Fox Hill Road?
Road.
Yep. So we're in the investigation stage at this point. More letters were sent out again. It was reported to us that the crossings were back again in March of 2024. Letters went out again. We thought the issues was resolved. It's still ongoing. We made DEP aware of it as well. So they're helping us
Are
out
there-
with some guidance on
There's
that.
other pictures too, Emily.
Yes,
Could you
yep.
share those?
I believe this is all.
See that one? See that?
This is all the same one.
Oh, yeah.
Right through the
Then-
wetlands.
Yeah, that's testing it out.
Well, what's that crossing used for, to go from where to where?
It's to get from private property onto the rail trail without going down to Nickel Street or to Maple.
And there's regular access to the rail trail otherwise, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Whose property are those little things on? Is it town property or private property?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Some of it does, we believe, cross the line into town property. So we're working on mitigation efforts for that, and that's part of our investigation, is determining where these property lines are.
Yep.
Trying to figure out who built them is a challenge, but regardless of who built them, they aren't permitted crossings. Let me just pull up a couple of
It
others
should
here.
be straightforward though to find whose property they need.
Right. So here's another one. This one, this one I don't believe was reported to us before.
Right?
What was
And
that?
to be continued, right, till we get more information?
Yes, so we're gathering more information. If the commission, if you guys want to do a site walk together, we can check it out. It's a short stretch of trail. You can easily walk it on your own. They're very easy to see, especially in the winter.
This is pretty much just for informational.
Yes, yeah, this
for
is
us
just to let the
tonight.
commission know what's going on, and that we're working with DEP and following their guidance to get this resolved.
So would those be considered, like if it's on their property, but they're going into wetlands? Do you know what I mean? Without a
Right.
build permit? Like,
Exactly, because whether it's on town property or private property, it still is an unpermitted crossing over wetlands. So it's a violation regardless. It's just us determining if it is on town property, the commission could ask the town to just remove it. But we're still working that stuff out. There's one more here. I just want to pull up for you.
At some point, I'd like to,
how would you
Get
find
to
if it's
something
on
where
town
it's
property? Can't you just look at the property line?
That's what we're looking at, pulling up GIS maps and then pulling up older maps too, to try to figure out when they were actually constructed. We're trying to build a
Maybe the
timeline.
Scouts- Maybe the Boy Scouts could construct something like they did at the Agway, where they made that
Yeah.
crossing and worked
Yeah.
out very well.
okay,
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
But this is just
Yeah.
informational for us tonight.
Yes,
We'll
absolutely,
keep
yep.
us Up to date on any happenings.
Yes, yeah, as things develop, I'll keep everyone in the loop. This is just to let you know what's
Okay.
going on.
And
And
then-
one other thing.
Well, I do too. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, so Emily, what can you tell us about what you call the deep dive topics that you sent out?
Oh, so those are trainings that are being offered by DEP specifically for staff and commission members.
At no cost?
No cost.
No.
No cost, just log in through the link. But they did ask that these are not public trainings, it's for staff and commission members.
Okay.
Yep, and I'll send out reminders when those dates pop up, because I know it's 8 months of trainings. The day of the trainings, I'll be sending out reminders to everyone, and you're not obligated, but if you have the time and you'd like to
Some-
attend.
Some of them look
All
like they're
virtual.
pretty
All
good.
virtual, yeah.
And they
Okay.
don't record it, so if you missed,
Yeah, they're not
they're
recorded.
not recorded.
Oh.
Okay,
There's no
too bad.
tests.
And there's no tests. No, no tests.
I'm a
That takes
teacher, I
the
don't mind a
stress off.
test.
All right, thank you.
No, no
Sure.
more tests for me.
So my question is, Emily, the last meeting, when Jonathan told us he was not going to be with us any longer, we talked about the role of alternates Have you had a chance to find out how the alternates work with the other boards?
Yes, yes, so I spoke with staff about that. And basically, if the commission is full, if we have 5 full members, then the alternate would not be participating in the voting. If that person was at the meeting, they would be attending as a resident. If we had a board of 5, there were 4 members here, that person could come and join the board as an alternate for that meeting.
So
How about
for
in
them
terms
to-
of voting?
And they could
terms of
vote too.
voting.
If there are 5 full members here, then that person wouldn't be voting.
But if there's only 4, that alternate could
Could
vote.
vote.
Yes, they can fully participate as a commission member.
That's different than when it was first explained to us a couple
Yes.
years ago.
But
Yeah,
isn't
but I got
it
some more
assumed
clarification.
that the applicant would have reviewed the information or had gone on a site visit or?
The alternate?
I mean,
Yes.
the alternate?
Yeah, the alternate still gets all the emails. So like Jonathan as an alternate, he is still getting all the emails and everything. So that if he does attend a meeting or if he needs to so that we have a quorum, he's fully versed on the applications. He's still in all those
Yeah,
emails.
I think I can live with that that person, if we're down 1 member, that alternate could vote.
And do we have an alternate?
No.
No,
That's
well,
next.
Jonathan. I did reach out, there was someone who had sent in his information through the website. There's a talent pool form that you can fill. I believe you all have filled it out at some point. I reached out to him today. Hopefully, we'll hear back soon, and he can come in, we can chat, and we'll get him on the board, hopefully. But we got our ears to the ground on that one.
Okay, yeah, just send, yeah, it takes a special person. You have to have juggle life responsibilities.
Yes, absolutely, yeah, it's a commitment, for sure.
Okay, good, so keep us posted on that.
I will,
please.
absolutely.
Anything else? Any of the members, any of the public? All right, someone can make a motion to adjourn, we will do that.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay, great, thank you all. So not running down the Cape tonight?